This essay question asks you to look at the formula for a confidence interval of means and derive the minimum sample size equation. To do that, we need to focus in on the margin of error, because when we're talking about minimum sample size, we're saying what is the minimum sample size to achieve a certain margin of error. And so that's just the plus minus part right here. We actually can ignore the rest of it, the center. So what we want to do is take that, and let's go ahead and write it a little more cleanly. This z star is actually part of the numerator, even though it's kind of written off to the side. So if we were to write this again, we would put z star times our standard deviation over our square root of our sample size is equal to our margin of error. And our goal here is to get n, and actually just n, not the square root of n, just n alone. First thing we want to do, we want to multiply both sides by the square root of n. And when we do that, this completely cancels out, divides to 1. Next thing, we want to get n alone still, so we want to get margin of error out of both sides. So if we divide both sides by the margin of error, then margin of error is going to cancel out to 1. So leaving us with just this. And let's go ahead and rewrite this. We have z star times standard deviation divided by margin of error is equal to the square root of n. So the last thing we need to do to both sides is square it. And when we square both sides, the square and the square root will cancel each other out, leaving us with just n on the right, and then on our left side we have z star times standard deviation all over margin of error, whole thing squared. So that would be how you would show the steps to derive the formula for the minimum sample size.